We like to laugh when Jim Cramer speaks out about his prediction on what's going on with the market, but there's something that is undeniable right now regarding crypto and the stock market. And it's something that's really starting to get frustrating for a lot of people, especially in the crypto space, but now in the stock market. And I think Jim Cramer's nailing it here, saying the shutdown will send markets lower. Now, people in the crypto space, like Crypto Rover and many others on X, are saying, looks like we're moving higher, right? That's the ongoing joke. But these bureaucrats in government, I don't care if you're left, center, right, these politicians right now are wasting our taxpayers' money. They are wasting our time and they are hurting the markets. It is undeniable. The US government shutdown is the longest in history. After 35 days without funding, this shutdown still is going on. The Senate has now failed 14 times to reopen the government. Why? Because of stupid politics games, dumb games from people in suits in Washington, D.C., playing around with this political football. Oh, it's their fault. Oh, it's your fault. This is ridiculous. Our government has continuously been headed down this direction of these silly politics, extreme ideas that are getting out of control on all sides. And it's resulting in games that are affecting the markets, workers in the government, and our country as a whole. This is a joke. In 2025, you'd think we'd progress as a nation, and we have the promise of progress for the crypto industry. But how are we supposed to see progress in this markets if the government shutdown is continuing? How are we supposed to get the altcoin ETFs through the SEC if the government is shut down? How are we supposed to get a crypto market structure bill that so many people are so excited about if, sorry, we're closed, is the sign that's on the Capitol building? Metaphorically speaking, of course, this is a graphic arts image, but you know what I'm saying. Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip. Yes, I am frustrated with this market right now. Yes, we're getting a bounce off $100,000. I told you guys yesterday that I was in a short position. I am still in that short position for Bitcoin right now, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, and it is currently still in the profit. That being said, Bitcoin has been climbing up a little bit. So something to note. Okay, Bitcoin has been climbing up a little bit, but this is still in the profit. One thing that I was suggesting yesterday, and by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give you guys financial advice. You got to do your own research in this crypto space, my friends. But one thing that I was personally suggesting is that because there is a 50-week moving average there for Bitcoin right at about the $100,000 price level, we might see a bounce there. And guess what? We did. Is this a permanent bounce, or is Jim Cramer right? Are we going to see more bearish activity because of this government shutdown? And here's the other part of it. If we see the government shutdown, and can we see these markets recover? Well, the problem is, my friends, is I've been talking about this metaphorical hourglass for Bitcoin. Technically, the sand has gone to the bottom of the hourglass when it comes to how much time's left in this Bitcoin bull market. I stand by what I said yesterday regarding, I personally feel like there's an 80% chance that the bear market could be upon us. I in part agree with Jim Cramer, but if the government shutdown ends, maybe we could get some kind of recovery, one last go. However, the 4-year cycles have remained intact so far. Now, later today, the president is set to give, it's being reported all across X right now, the president is giving a big speech later today about the U.S. economy. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. During this speech, he's going to give a bullish twist to the market, right? If you look at what's going to be discussed here, Miami speech expected to double down on economic messaging. President's upcoming speech in Miami will focus heavily on economic growth, trade policy, and American manufacturing. Aides say the president will tout rising stock markets and business confidence as proof that his approach is working. Now, here's the facts. Look at the S&P 500, my friends. The S&P 500, that's been climbing up, okay? That's been climbing up. This is the weekly chart. Here's 2010. Here's today. Let's look since what is this? 2025. This is the beginning of 2025. Here we go. 2024. This goes all the way to the beginning of right here. 2024. Boom. We've seen it gone from 4,800 to almost 7,000. In 2 years, we've seen insane gains for the stock market. So we have seen some upward momentum. And it's almost like this government shutdown is designed to crush the market, okay? There's a political football being passed around. Now, the president doesn't want to recede and compromise because he wants to hold true and go against some of the policies of the left, and the right also is getting pushed back from the left here. And there is just this game of back and forth that is slowing the momentum of the market. Whose fault is it? A lot of people have a lot of opinions. I got opinions too, but that doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter who's guilty at the end of the day. It matters that it's happening. And what matters is that it's politics. It takes two to tango, right? Always takes two to tango. All parties here are at fault, and it's frustrating for the market. But when you really zoom in on it, zoom out, zoom in, the S&P 500 has been doing really well. For crypto, you're a little bit more frustrated. We've seen Bitcoin dominance climbing again. You've seen altcoin season not really happen. You've seen Bitcoin have a nice bull market. It probably didn't get as high as a lot of people had hoped it would. Again, these little circles that I had drawn here were a bounce that I was calling out and possibly expecting off of the 50-week moving average, which was like right about at this $99,000 price level. And so, I was talking about, I'm in a short because I believe, again, personally right now, I'm gonna stick the short out. I think that we could see still yet lower prices. I could certainly be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. But if you guys want to trade, if you wanted to say take a long off 100K, I didn't think that was a bad idea either. You could have totally done that. I'm trading a lot on Blowfin right now. And if you guys want to sign up, I talked a little bit about this bounce at 100K yesterday on this video. I was warning about a potential 70% crash. I told you guys I'd turn the lights blue and yellow again instead of red and bearish like I had them yesterday. But if you want to trade and sign up for some of these affiliates in the description, Blowfin's my favorite place personally to trade. We got some other great sign up bonuses for you guys as well if you haven't checked them out. I don't care if we're going to a bear market or a bull market. I'm clearly frustrated with the government shutdown. I just think it's ridiculous. I don't think they're doing their job. I've seen a lot of tweets out there saying, well, if the government shutdown's happening, then these senators and these congressmen should give up their salaries. I agree. I don't think they should get paid. If the government shut down, they should also have their income shut down because they're just not doing their job. Well, they're saying they're debating and arguing. Well, get it done. Figure it out. Work overtime until you solve it. Okay, you can't have an entire government shut down. It's a joke. And it's certainly not helping the crypto market here. And it's certainly not helping the stock market. There's a lot of fear right now in the market. And one thing that I've been discussing lately in general is I've seen a lot when I start getting messages from family and friends. Okay, this is just a real thing that I feel about the market. When I start getting messages from family and friends, I'm killing it in the market right now. Oh my gosh, earnings are out. I'm so excited to see what happens tomorrow. I've been crushing it on options, and I've been getting these text messages over the last month. I've been having these conversations at family events, crushing it in the market right now. So excited. I think I'm going to start buying XRP. That's the one I keep hearing a lot. All of those are 9 times out of 10. Every time there's excitement, a top signal. To the opposite side of that, the fact that I did a video yesterday where I actually turned my logo, okay, in my background, red, like this, okay, like this in this video, that is a potential bottom signal. Yeah, I'm using myself as a bottom signal. When I feel so bearish, there's probably a bounce, okay? There's probably a bounce coming. That doesn't mean that the bear market's not going to happen, right? But I take into account these emotions that I feel. I take into account the emotions of people in my personal circles as they start to get more vocal. The opposite of what they're feeling is typically what's right around the corner. What are you feeling right now? Do you guys ever think about this? I'm curious how you feel about this market sentiment right now. And I'm curious what you think that means for the broader market. I'm sitting at an 80% chance in my mind of a bear market. Am I wrong? I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments down below. I'll leave that 20% on the table because if the government shutdown ends, when we get more Fed rate cuts, and I think we will, when we get quantitative tightening to end, when we get these altcoin ETFs approved. Sure, those are the 20% bullish things that I'm sticking to, I'm hanging on to with hope and excitement. But if we go into a bear market and I can buy Bitcoin again below 50, 40, or even $35,000, I'm going to be so excited. How will you feel? I'm curious to hear from you. Let me know in the comments down below. Government shutdowns are stupid. If you agree, smash the like button. Nothing here's financial advice. 2 videos here if you want to check them out, guys. DCA, HODL. I'll see you in the next one, y'all. Peace.